those of you who don't know me, my name's Michelle and I live on the Central Coast and I'm a team leader of the Lakes Legends, and I have been doing Thermomix for over 8 years and been a Thermomix before, and I absolutely love it. I came on board with the earn option, so I came on board to earn my Thermomix for free. Back then it was the TM31. And if you told me 8 years ago that I was still here, I would have said there is no way possible, because I joined as a payment option. I had a 5-month-old baby and a 2-year-old, and I soon discovered that I loved getting out and meeting people and helping people with a Thermomix. So has everyone got a Thermomix that is on tonight? Just type in the chat if you do, the model you have, and if you don't, we'd love to show you what it does. So tonight our class is all about saving money with the Thermomix. So it's a budget busters class, and I think that is really helpful for this environment that we are in. You know, your grocery bills are going up, there's lots of extra expenses, but we're going to show you today how the Thermomix actually puts money in your pocket. So hopefully this will help. And if you've got any specific questions or you want to know more about something that the presenter's speaking up about, please pop it in the chat or ask a question and we will be here to help you. So Kyra is actually going to kick off tonight. So I will spotlight Kyra and she can introduce herself and let you know what she's making. Hold on, Kyra, you're muted, Jill.
I got to unmute.
Yeah, there we go.
Here I am. Give me 1 second.
No worries. We're live, so
I forgot to actually close my fridge, and you know what that means? That means it's going to like bip away forever. So anyway, hi everyone, my name's Kyra. I'm part of the Lakes Legends and have been working in this business for almost 9 years and absolutely love it. But one of the biggest things that I've found with owning a Thermomix is just how you can create something extra special out of not much that you've got in your fridge or pantry. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one recipe, but we're going to turn it into scrolls and bread rolls all at the same time. So I'm going to use my favourite recipe for doing this, which is off the recipe community, and I've loaded it up onto my TM6 using the new Cookie Do 3.0. So I'm just going to go into my recipes and then go into created recipes, and I've got it saved in here, and it's called the bestest bread rolls ever. So if you're looking for it, that's what you want to be using. If you don't want to use that and you want to just use a recipe off Cookie Do, even the pizza or the pizza dough recipe will work. Also, the basic bread roll mix will also work too. So I'm just going to start cooking because I want to show you what it looks a little bit like on the screen when you upload these Cookie Do 3.0 recipes, because it does look a little bit different than what our normal recipe will look like. So the first thing is it's coming up with, it just says add your ingredients in order that they're written, and then turn the speed to speed 6 for 10 seconds. So down here we've actually got our measurements. So this is where it has all of our ingredients written. So I've just got to add those all in the way that they've got them placed there. So we're going to pop in our 310 grams of lukewarm water, not luke water. That's funny. We've got, I'm just going to pop that in, 310. So I'd love to know in the comments if you actually make bread rolls yourself. I'm going to now pop in some yeast, and I use this and keep it in my fridge or freezer. My scales are going crazy because I'm leaning on the bench funny tonight. Sorry guys, if you're noticing that, that is not normal. That's just me leaning on the bench. All right, now we're going to pop in a teaspoon of salt, and I like to use Himalayan salt. We're going to pop that in. It's got on here a teaspoon of sugar. So that teaspoon's about 5 grams if you want to use the scales. We're going to pop in our baker's flour. So to be honest, it says here 5, 10, 10, but I always like to go at least 10% over, because that way it cleans the bowl for me pretty much as it's needing. So I'm going to pop the 550, 560 in. In fact, I'll just throw that in. Beautiful. And we're going to pop in our olive oil. So 30 grams of olive oil. And so this is just this recipe, but this is what changes it up for you. So this is actually bread improver. You find that next to your yeast in your supermarket. So you can also buy a, what's it called? Like a preservative-free natural bread improver, but you have to buy that online. So that's all my ingredients. And now it's telling me that I need to turn that to speed 6 for 10 seconds. So that's when I go onto the little blade here. Obviously, I need to put my lid on. Set it for 10 seconds on speed 6, and that's just going to mix it up for us. All right, while that's done, you can, start packing up all the bits and pieces. I'll show you what that looks like, because now we're going to knead it for a minute and a half. So if I just go onto the cross again, that's that done. And we've got a little arrow here, so we just press on that, and it's telling me to now knead it for a minute and a half on dough mode. So all I need to do is to go into there, and across the top it says mode. So we go into our dough mode. Oh, not our pre-clean. We don't want that right now. Go back. Sorry. Where are we? I'm looking at it. Dough mode. There we go. And we just set the time for a minute and a half. But I don't know how quickly you want me to go, Michelle, but I've already got this all done now, and it's proved.
Awesome. Yep. Keep going.
Keep going? All right.
Have you priced out how much the dough cost you to make?
Oh, it's like not even $2 to make this. I haven't actually worked it out, and I can, if you want to do that during the night, I can actually work it out for you, but it'll be less than $2.
For both batches, the scrolls and the bread rolls.
So it's going to make me 6 bread rolls and 6 scrolls. Now, it's like, so even with the extra like bits and pieces on it, with the sauce and the cheese and the bacon that I'm going to put on there, it wouldn't even cost $3.60. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's like the price of a scroll itself. And we'll have bread rolls for the family and scrolls for the family tomorrow.
Awesome. Did you want to just stop the kneading so we can hear you, and then you can just knead it, and then we can come back to show how it's kneaded, if that makes sense? Because
that's fine. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So get in and show us how we make the bread. And then
okay. So you want me to go with the one that I've pre-made?
Yes, if you don't mind. And then you can knead it when the Des is presenting.
Because it's a colder day, I put it on. If you've got a TM6, I'll show you. I actually pop it in my Thermomix into my Varoma base, and I pop the lid on it, but as you can see, it's blown right out. And I pop it on my fermentation mode for it to prove. Now, the reason why I do that is because the weather's so cold at the moment that it's taking ages for our dough to prove and to rise, and I want to get a really successful loaf. And when I say that, I mean light and fluffy, so the kids love it and they think it's store-bought, because seriously, if it's like a rock, they're not going to like us, are they? So it's really all about the proving. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly roll this out. I'll grab my rolling pin. Hopefully you can see it. Let me just bring my camera back. Hopefully that'll stay. It didn't. Let me bring it down a bit. That'll work. It will stay now. Oh my gosh. All righty. Let me get my rolling pin. In fact, I think I left it somewhere. That's all right. I'm going to use my hands because I'm a capable person. And we're going to roll with the punches. So I'm just getting the air out of this loaf, and I'll just roughly chop it in half and put half aside. Can you see that? All right, good. All right, so what I'm going to do is chop this into 3, and you'll see I'm using this bowl scraper. I find it really good to get through the dough. You can also use your spatula, but I just find this to be a little bit more easier to use. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make these into my individual bread rolls. And I pull all the air out of it by just pinching the edge and rolling it in. And then we've got one little roll there. I'll do it again. All right. So you get that really nice top on them. And then the bottom, you know, it reminds me of like when there was a Vietnamese bakery in town years and years and years ago, and all the bottoms of the rolls used to look like that because they used to pinch them in like so. So you can also do like things like make them into ovals. So if you want to do them into like dinner rolls, give them a bit of a roll so that they go into a bit of an oval shape rather than, or if you roll it into a snake, you can actually make it into a knot roll. I'll do another one of those. So just give it a roll. Just like so. Does that make sense? I'll make one of these into a, so we've got 2 rounds, 2 ovals and 2 knots. So I'll pop them aside for now. And I'm going to let these, I usually would let these prove again. So I'll let them prove while you're. Now I'm just going to roll this out a little bit without a rolling pin, but that's still okay. It's still going to work fine. And I like to use my long-handed spatula for this. I'm just going to put a scoop of the tomato paste on it. You could make your own, but to be honest, my kids are barbecue meat lovers boys, so they don't mind a little bit of barbecue sauce and tomato paste. And I'm just going to slather that on using my spatula. I probably put a bit too much on. I'll just scrape a little bit off. We don't want them to be too saucy. Okay, and just going to pop on a bit of oregano. Just a bit of dried oregano. And I've got some cheese and ham. So I grated this cheese up in the Thermomix, so 6 seconds on speed 6. And I had it all in 2 centimetre, 3 centimetre cubes. So it's a bit of mozzarella, a bit of cheddar thrown in. Now we'll just throw some bacon, some diced bacon over the top.
Hey, Kyra, do you want to tell them what fun thing is going to be released over the next few months or next year? We don't know when.
Are you talking about that incredible attachment where we're going to be able to slice and dice?
Yes.
It's very exciting. I don't know what the name of it's called, but I just can't wait to get my hands on it. And I'm sure there'll be lots of customers that feel exactly the same way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll this up just like so. Sorry, it's a bit messy, and I'm trying to do a reasonably fast job of this. And then the piece de resistance, or however you say it, is that you use dental floss to chop it. So I just wrap it around my fingers, go in underneath, and then bring them together, and it slices it up really nice and neatly. How's that? So we'll go again. Use a dental floss to go underneath. Oops. It's just going to play out just because I'm on camera now. and you just cross it over at the top and you've got a nice straight through cut.
I sometimes use fishing line as well, Cara.
Yeah, fishing line's a good one as well. Absolutely. But I just have dental floss in the house.
Oh, it's so much easier than a knife.
Absolutely. And you get that better edge.
Yeah.
And you can use it on your thermomat, which you can't use knives on your thermomats. So this is the best way to do it. So there's 3, 4. There we go.
Well, your house
Now, what I would do is normally let these prove again so that they rise nice and neatly. So I'll put them on a tray super close together and let them prove again before putting it in the oven, in a hot oven for about 20 minutes, and then they're done. So honestly, for less than a loaf of bread, you could get 6 scrolls and 6 bread rolls. Seriously, it's crazy.
Love it. What else can you do with the that dough?
Mini pizzas, all sorts of things. Loads. I'm just trying to think of what else I've done with it. Focaccia, make focaccia out of it. It's just a really easy thing to do, like to make your own bread. It's crazy good. As long as you know the little tips about using the bread improver, making sure that you allow it to prove that second time, so you're getting a lighter, fluffier bread, whatever you're using. I think that's probably the best tips I can share with you.
Awesome. Love it, Kyra. So if you can think of something that you use scroll dough or pizza dough for, pop it in the chat so we all can help each other. Another one is pizza pockets, if your kids like to take them to school as well. Really versatile recipe for lunch boxes, that's for sure.
And you can freeze them. Like, it's not, you can freeze them either as they are now, or you could cook them and then freeze them and pull them out. The important thing is, if you freeze them uncooked, they need to come back up to room temperature before you cook them in the oven. Otherwise, they're going to be hard as rocks again.
100%. And another thing I do, Kyra, too, because I make scrolls all the time for my kids, is I actually cut the dough in half and make half the scrolls and freeze half the dough. So we've got getting freshly baked scrolls every time. So really versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a game changer when it comes to lunch boxes.
And would have you ever made bread without a Thermomix, or before you had your Thermomix?
Not a chance.
Put your hand up or put in the comments if that's you as well. I know that was me. I couldn't be bothered making bread. It was all too hard, but with the Thermomix, it's so easy. So thanks so much, Kyra. And
you're welcome.
We'll jump over to the Des now. She's got a brilliant takeaway meal that she's going to make for us. Hey, the Des, how are you?
Good, thanks, Michelle. So I was very much like Kyra. Before I had the Thermomix, I never made bread in my whole life ever. But yeah, we make them a lot at home, and I think making your own bread at home is like really good in terms of like saving, and also like with the flavor, because when you get like freshly baked bread, it's really just the best in the Thermomix. And yeah, so tonight I'm making a Thai green chicken curry. So I have pre-made the curry paste, and the recipe is actually skinny mixers. So before I had the TM6, we used to order a lot of takeaways, and it actually costs a lot because it adds up, like even if you just do it like once or twice a week. And so yeah, because of the Thermomix, and you just have all these different options, and it's just so easy and convenient to like make your own meals at home. It's actually reduced our takeaways, because now we mostly just home cook our meals. So yeah, all right, so we'll get started with the Thai green chicken curry. So first we'll have to, I'll just want to show you, this is the green curry paste that I have made earlier. I'm gonna show you a video later on, but I froze this into like single portion serves, and you can just like take one for when you need to cook it, and it's just so easy because you've pre-made the paste. So this one for one portion goes into the bowl with a 270 ml can of coconut cream. So I'm using the same spatula like Caracas. Yeah, this one's really good with getting through like tight corners because it's like slim and flexible. So cream, and then we need lemongrass, just the white part only. I bruised it a bit so it really says the smell, the aroma, and the flavor, and kaffir lime leaves. Yep, and then we're gonna have to cook that for 10 minutes. 100 degrees Celsius. Speed 1.
So Des, can you just explain how you're cooking? It's a little bit different to how Kyra was cooking. You're reading a recipe. Did you just want to explain to the people who don't own a Thermomix the different ways that we can cook?
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing like a manual freestyle kind of cooking. So when you're doing it manually, you can just like put in the 3 different settings. So you have the time setting, the temperature setting, and the speed setting. So depending on what setting you put, it's actually a different function of Thermomix that you'll get. So the faster you set the speed, then you can get like milling or grating cheese. And then if you put like temperature, you're gonna do some cooking or not. So yeah. So with the manual, you just, a lot of recipes, they have already like the setting for time, speed, and temperature, and then you just put in your settings what the recipe needs. So I'm just gonna do this for 10 minutes, 100 degrees Celsius, and speed 1. And while it's doing that, I'll maybe just try to show you the video of how I made the curry paste.
Beautiful.
And also, I'm just going to marinate the chicken now with some soy sauce and fish sauce. So I'll put that. I'll start this one and share the video.
And how much chicken are you using there for Des?
500 grams, but I think with this one you can actually increase the chicken as long as it doesn't go over the limit, because it creates a lot of sauce.
Yeah,
also.
beautiful. And did you use breast or thigh there?
The recipe actually calls for breast, but we like to use thigh better, and I think it looks better in the Thermomix as well, because sometimes I feel like if I use shredded chicken, chicken breast, sometimes it gets shredded depending on how thick or thin you cut chicken.
Yeah.
So I think with thigh, usually it's safer, and we also like the flavor of the thigh as well.
Yes, definitely. It's a tougher bit of meat, and the breast sort of is softer, so it melts as you're cooking it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Great tips there for Des. Well, are you right to share your screen?
Yeah, so I'll try to share. Hang on 1 second. See if I can find it again. All right. So the video's actually a bit, the sound's a bit slow. How do I close this one?
That's okay. You can just play it and we can watch.
Sorry. Share again. Let me go back to Zoom. Share. This one. Here we go. Do I have to be on? Hello everyone, kamusta po? I'm going to show you how to make the green curry paste from scratch, and you'll see that it's really easy to do with a Thermomix, and it actually tastes so much better when you make it from fresh ingredients compared to buying the jar paste from the supermarkets, and you don't get the added preservatives or additives that comes with ready-made jar sauces. And this recipe is by Skinny Mixers, and you can get it for free from their website. And this one recipe is actually a lot. You can make, I think this makes enough for 4 curries. So I'm also going to be showing you later how you can store this one in your freezer, so you can use it during midweek or when you're making dinner or lunch in a hurry. Yeah. So yes, let's get started. All right. So first we need to toast this coriander and cumin seeds. So this one's the coriander and this one is the cumin seeds with so we'll just put that in our Thermomix bowl. And we also have this shrimp paste or roasted. I'm using the roasted bilachan, and I got this one, I can't remember, I think Woolworths, but they have this in Coles or Woolies from where I'm at. And the good thing about this one is it's actually portioned into small sachets like this, so you can just open small portion rather than opening like the big one that I used to have before. So in this recipe I just use half of that sachet. I'll just pop it there in the Thermomix, and we're going to toast it for 5 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. So 5 minutes, speed 1. If you're vegetarian or you're not very keen on using the shrimp paste, you can take it out, but I highly recommend actually putting it in because it adds a very distinctive taste and it just tastes so good, according to my opinion, with the shrimp paste. So while that is going, I'll show you the rest of the ingredients that we would be needing. So starting from here, we need the coconut oil, or you can use any oil that you prefer. We have coriander, shallots, long green chilies. I'm using about 7, and lemongrass, 2 stalks, and you need to use the white part only. We have pepper, we have salt, garlic, we have kaffir lime leaves, and I'm using galangal or ginger if you can't find this. So it's actually very similar to ginger. Let me just show you the difference. So galangal is red, so this is galangal, or in Filipino, in my dialect, we call it langkawas. And this one is ginger. So they look very different, and there's actually a big difference in the flavor and the smell as well. So if you can get galangal, I recommend to use it for this recipe. Otherwise, just substitute it with the ginger. So while it's roasting, I'll just prep all these ingredients that's ready to go into the next step. So after it's been roasted, we're going to just add the rest of the ingredients. So we have the green chilies. I have seeded half of it because it might be too hot if you put all the seeds. Garlic, kaffir lime leaves, shallots, and then lemongrass and coriander leaves, stalks, and roots. Put everything. All right, and then the salt and pepper. And we're also going to put, let me just open the scale and measure 80 grams of coconut oil or any oil that you like. So you go. Yep. All right, so there, and we're just going to blend that for, let me see, 15 seconds, speed 9. So 15, speed 9. All right. Ooh, smells good. Look at that. Let me see. It's blurry. Yeah, so in there, we are going to add 20 grams of water and blend for 20 seconds, speed 6. All right, hang on, I'll just get some water. Add 20 grams of water. Yep, and then blend for 20 seconds, speed 6. Alright, so I forgot to put my galangal. Oh no. So we'll just have to redo the earlier step of just blitzing the rest of the ingredients. There it goes. No worries. We'll just do it again for speed 9. Alright, so that's looking good. It's incorporated the galangal that we forgot. Oopsies. And yeah, we'll just have to do it a couple more times. Blending for 20 seconds, speed 6. So this recipe, this whole recipe is actually enough to make 4 curries. And as I've mentioned earlier, you can freeze it and then just use it whenever you need to cook the curry. So I have here, this is my silicone cupcake molds that I got from IKEA. And I'm going to portion my paste here so I would know when it's frozen, and I'll put it in the freezer. And then when it's frozen, I'm gonna pop them out and put them in a Ziploc bag. Or you can also use this yogurt containers or any small containers that you have. Pop this in here. Put it in the oven. Sorry. Put it in the freezer. I'll cover it with cling wrap. And then that's it. You'll have your Skinny Mixers Thai green chicken curry. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.
You're on mute, Fidesz.
There you go, much better. So the green curry and the coconut cream has cooked a bit. I've put in the butterfly because now we're going to put the chicken that we marinated for a bit. A little bit of coconut sugar, raw sugar, brown sugar, whatever sugar you have. And another tin of the coconut cream. But I'm using the coconut milk. So I've actually used 1 can coconut cream 1 can of coconut milk, because I feel like when you put too much cream, it can be a bit rich. So yeah, it depends how you like it, so you can adjust as well.
But Des, I love how you have made 4 of those little containers of curry paste. And I know before a Thermomix, I would go to the international section in Woolies or Coles, and one jar that would make one would probably cost me what, $5, if not more. So
Yeah,
how much has this cost you? Not the chicken, but how much do you think the paste itself has cost you to make?
I haven't really costed.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lot, because it's just a lot of like lemongrass.
Yeah,
spices. Yeah,
you're definitely saving money by making it yourself.
I don't think anything in there is like that expensive compared to like buying the jar, and you don't have to walk to the supermarket or try and you have those 4 portion curries that's ready for you to use whenever.
Yeah. But it tastes so much better too.
Yeah, definitely. So I've added coconut milk, chicken, and sugar, and we're going to cook it again for 13 minutes, 90 degrees, slowest speed, and it needs to be reversed, because we've now added the chicken and we don't want the blades to touch, the sharp side of the blades to touch the chicken and shred it. So I'm going to do that now, and it's going to cook for 13 minutes. So maybe someone can.
Beautiful. Just a couple of questions for you. Just throw that on and start cooking. What did you say it was called? Gangle. What did you say that ginger thing is?
Galangal is like, it looks like ginger, but it's red.
So did you grow that in your garden, or where can we buy that from?
No, I'm not. I try to make my own, grow my own herbs, but they don't really. So that one I got from the Asian shops, because there's Asian shops from where we're at.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I've seen it before in Coles or Woolies, but usually you can get it like Asian vegetable shops. Yeah.
Beautiful. And you said earlier that this would have been something that you would have purchased before you had your Thermomix, as in a takeaway meal. How much do you think you would have spent on feeding your family a green Thai curry compared to making it yourself?
Yeah, so like from where we are, I think one order of green curry probably costs like $18, but it's not enough. Like when you buy that single order, it's not enough. My family's like 5, and when we go takeaways, they're not just gonna order the curry, they're gonna order something else. But if I just give them like this one with a lot of meat, then they'll have the option to have more of it. So yeah, that saves quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So you would have bought 2 of those containers for about $40, and you used what, half a kilo of chicken, did you say? So
this one I've used maybe like 600, 700 grams of chicken. So
beautiful. So say $7, $8 worth of chicken. So a lot cheaper than getting your takeaway meal.
Yes, and they can bring the leftovers to lunch the next day, or next day. So yeah.
Love it. Thanks for Des. I'll flick over now to Laura, who is going to be showing us a wonderful cost saver, and that is a lunchbox snacks. How much do you spend on feeding your children lunchbox snacks? It can be quite expensive. So I can't wait to hear Laura's tips and tricks.
It can, and I have 4 children at school, so I am always looking at ways to save money in sending things in their lunch boxes. So today I'm going to show you how to make LCM bars. So and I'll just get it started and I'll tell you more as it's going. So I'm going to be using created recipes today, so I'll show you how that looks on the Thermomix. So here is my home screen. If I go into my menu, I can go into my recipes and go into a created recipe. This recipe is too simple to be on Cookie-Doo. Cookie-Doo has like amazing recipes that I use a lot of, but this is one that I've entered myself. So you can see the picture of my daughter with our homemade LCM bars there. And I'll just press start cooking and then we go. So in created recipes, the guided cooking looks a little bit different to the normal guided cooking, but it's still super easy to follow. I actually really like the way of following this. So when it's time to enter your ingredients, you press the scales button down below and it brings up everything that you need to enter right at this moment in this step. So I'm putting in my butter, which is hopefully the right amount because I was trying to be organized. That'll do. And then I press tear to add my next ingredient, which is my sugar. Oh no, actually, sorry, I didn't have that ready. Can you just get me sugar? I'm going to add my honey because I wasn't ready with my sugar. So that's okay. And when I'm asking my helper to get me sugar, what I mean is I buy everything in bulk. So I have a 20-kilo bag of sugar and I just needed to update my little container. So now I'll add in my sugar.
So Laura, is this a recipe on Recipe Community that you found?
No, it's not. This is a random, like a traditional LCM recipe that I've converted on the Thermomix.
Excellent. So are we able to email this recipe out to everybody?
Yeah, I'll put it in the email tomorrow when we send out the post-class email.
Beautiful. Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, so that's my raw sugar. And then all you need to do is press the X and we're going to press the blade picture now to go into our method. So, sorry, lid goes on and we're going to speed through. Now, because I like to multitask, I'm going to turn that lower while I'm trying to talk to you. Because I like to multitask, I'm going to get the next steps ready while that's all melting. So to do that, I am going to press the cross to get out of that step. And I'm going to arrow across to the next step. Now this step is getting my next ingredients ready. So I'm putting a bowl on top. And I'm going to add my rice puffs. And I just buy the cheap brand. This is $2 a box. And I'm going to use about half of it. So it's about $1 worth of rice puffs. And I realized that I'm blocking the hole here. I know for some of you are looking at this, I'm blocking the hole, but it's only going to be so quick. And my ingredients in the Thermomix are right down here. So it's okay at the moment.
And they wouldn't have reached a high temperature yet either.
No, it's still all good. And then I'm putting in some coconut and some sunflower seeds. So that's it. Now, the recipe says optional. This is my thing. I normally add some dried cranberries as well. That's not in normal LCM bars. So I'm not doing that today because I want to show you more of a normal LCM bar recipe. And if you wanted them to be chocolate, you could add some cocoa in there as well. So just mix all that together. You can't see what I'm doing, but that's pretty boring. I'm just mixing while my ingredients in here melt. So I had a look on the Woolworths website this morning to find out how much LCM bars actually cost. And it was to get the bulk pack, because that's what I would get. I wouldn't buy the little pack. The bulk pack that has 15 bars in it was $9.50. So this recipe that I make makes a really big tin. I get 24 bars out of it because I do 3 rows of 8. And butter's a bit expensive at the moment, so there's $1 worth of butter in there and $1 worth of rice puffs, but everything else is like you know, a handful of coconut, and I put the sunflower seeds in because I'm always trying to add nutrients in where I can for my kids. But if you were trying to save money, you wouldn't probably bother with the sunflower seeds. That's just my thing. And then the other thing that could cost money is the vanilla paste that's going in there as well. My vanilla paste is homemade. I buy vanilla beans off eBay and I follow the cookie dough recipe for vanilla paste. So it saves me a lot of money and it's just beautiful. It's amazing. My kids, I have to hide it in the back of the fridge or I catch them eating it because it's so good. So yeah, that's going in. And so the cost of these 24 bars of LCMs is roughly around $3. So if I was buying that at the store, it would be maybe more like $15 because it was $9.50 for 15 bars. So saving a lot of money. And that's just one option of lunchbox snacks. So obviously you could be making muesli bars, biscuits, cookies, muffins. We like the cheese puffs, the scrolls Kyra was showing you earlier. We do that as well. My kids take a scroll for lunch each day, and then with some cut up veggies to go with their morning tea, it's quite a cheap way of filling their lunch boxes. So yeah, we save a lot of money by using the Thermomix, and I just wouldn't bother without the Thermomix making all these things because it makes it so easy. You know, I'm not having to do anything on the stove or get out a food processor or a mix master or whatever else you need to be getting out. You know, making muesli bars and all these things is just so easy in the Thermomix. So anyway, I'm going to add in the vanilla now, just through the hole in the top of the lid, because you want to add it towards the end of the melting stage. So just about a teaspoon of vanilla. It really does taste so good. And that's that mix. So get rid of that. The next step is to combine it all. So I'm going to pour it in here. And then prep it into my tin. So super easy. My kids often can get involved in doing this. So it doesn't even have to be me doing it because it's just so easy. Safe for them to be using. I wouldn't let the 7-year-old near the stove, but I let him use the Thermomix. It's so safe and easy for him to make his own things. He does. My kids, my 10-year-old is the main one who does a lot of baking, but the other kids do as well. I'm going to make sure I get all that out using the thermo spatula, so it's done a pretty good job. And then it's just combining. So on top, this is just a basic LCM recipe, obviously, as I said. On top, you could add sprinkles, you could drizzle melted chocolate over it, you could add choc chips like I have in the picture that I had on my screen. As I said, I usually add dried cranberries just for a little bit of sweetness, but they're good just the way they are. And if you, just a note, if you thought you could add the choc chips right now, you can't. That would just all melt and mix in and you'll have chocolate flavored LCM. So if that's what you're going for, good. But if you want them to be whole choc chips, you really need to press it in your tin and then put the choc chips in on top so they don't melt in. So that's a tip I learnt the hard way, which didn't matter because happy accidents make chocolate flavored things. Yeah, that's really it from me. I mean, you're welcome to keep watching me do this, but if someone else is ready.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Laura.
Yeah, no
that
problem.
sounds like a great cost saver, and I can't wait to grab your recipe to give that a go. I think my
Yeah,
kids
it's
will love
really
that.
so easy.
So you said did you say $3 for 24 versus $9 for only 15?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty great saving.
Yeah. It's a great saving. And that's just one example, you know. There's so many other things you can make for your kids chocolate chip cookies or Anzac biscuit. Anzac slice actually is a really good, easy recipe on Cookie Dough. If you want a good lunchbox snack, Anzac slice is great.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know, Laura, I've got one of my customers, she used to spend $50 a week on lunchbox snacks, and with her Thermomix now spends $50 a month. So that's a huge saving just there.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
amazing. Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Saving with the Thermomix.
no worries. So I'm going to just show you something that I have pre-made.
Forgot to say, now I'm just putting it in the fridge. That's it.
Yeah. And when will that be set, Laura? Overnight, or how long does it take?
Yeah, I've only ever done it overnight. Maybe a few hours. Maybe only 1 hour. I don't know.
Yeah. So just do it in the afternoon to be ready.
Yeah,
in the morning.
exactly.
Yeah. And is that easy to cut?
Oh, so easy. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
put it on. I pull this out,
Mhm.
put it on a board, and I actually use my pizza cutter, but a big kitchen knife does a good job too. It's very easy to cut. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks.
So did you notice that Laura and Fidesz were using the basket, the simmering basket on top while they were cooking? You may have noticed your Thermomix is now got an update. And if you do use the new TM6 measuring cup, just to make sure that if you are cooking over 100 degrees, the recipes have been altered through Cookie Dough, and then you just pop that simmering basket on top just for extra safety. So yogurt. This is liquid gold. When I got my Thermomix, as I said, I had a baby and a 2-year-old. So we were going through yogurt like there was no tomorrow. I'd spend $18 a week on yogurt, and I can now make the same amount for about $3 to $5 in my Thermomix. So these little cups are from the Mix Shop. They, with the TM6, you actually cook this in the Varoma on the fermentation mode, and it's individually pot set yogurt. So it is super thick. Oh, shivers, super thick. And I'll just scoop that out so you can see the thickness there. So that there was just a bit of whey that was on top that is just drizzled out there, but really thick and creamy. And it's just an aesthetic thing. If I make this in jars, my kids can't get enough of it, and a batch probably lasts me only a few days, rather than doing it in a big container and then scooping it out. That doesn't interest them, but having it in these little individual cups, they'll eat that like no tomorrow. So you can make the yogurt in little snitchy pouches. You can get the host reward of the white thermoserver and ferment it in the thermoserver, or as I say, we love the individual pot set jars. So that is a huge saving, you know, $3 a batch versus $9. And Vicky's just said, oh, hi, Vicky, I didn't realize you were on. Vicky just said that she makes lactose-free yogurt for her dogs. She has told me that before. And that is a huge saver for her. How much did you say, how much were you telling me, Vicky, that the, you used to spend on your dog yogurt? It was quite expensive. Just type it in the chat for me. So that is a saving just there. So do you guys want to hear something super exciting that Kyra and Fidesz haven't even heard yet? It's hot off the press, and I wanted you guys to be the first to hear. When you purchase your TM6, starting tomorrow morning, we have got a new gift with purchase. So currently it is an oval black thermoserver and an Indian cookbook. You've got the choice of that to the end of the month, or you can select the next gift with purchase, which actually is, drumroll, I can see Kyra, she's like itching, jumping out of the skin, wanting to know what the next deal is, and Fidesz, look at them. It is a $75 gift voucher from the Mix Shop. So you can go shopping and purchase anything that you like from the Mix Shop. So if you prefer that gift with purchase, that is starting tomorrow. So how exciting is that? And the other thing that we have got as well, which is soon ending, is a half-price business kit as well. So if you were interested in a side hustle, getting your Thermomix to earn you some extra money, whoever invited you on tonight, give them a little note, and I'm sure they would absolutely love to help you and have a chat to you about what this business offers. So just over to Kyra, because she has actually worked out the costings on her loaves of bread and scrolls. How did you go,
I'm
Cara?
pretty excited about this, Michelle, because
Yep.
I haven't worked it out for a while. I haven't done the scrolls for a while, and I certainly haven't done like the mix of the two before. And to think that we actually do it, the zip repayment is as low as $24.54 a week. How exciting it would be if I could share with my customers that they could save $24.51 a week. So it's 3 cents difference.
What, just
Is
on
that-
scrolls and bread rolls?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
If you were to buy them at Baker's Delight,
Yeah.
I have to just put that out there. So what I worked out was, just so you know, because they don't have like a pizza scrolly thing that I could actually work out. So what I did was I worked out what the pizza scrolls cost me to make the 6 of them. It was $5.07. So that's for the dough, the half of the dough, and for the topping. The whole batch of dough made cost $2.49. Now their current prices worked off Woolworths. It wasn't like going for the cheapest options. So that was $2.49 for the dough mix, which includes everything, including the bread improver. And then the topping cost me $2.58, which worked out to be $5.07 for the 6 pizza scrolls. However, I worked it out on cheesy mite scrolls, and they would cost $4.29 to make the 6 cheesy mite scrolls and the bread rolls. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Yeah. All up for 6 scrolls and 6 bread rolls. Cost you $5.07 for pizza scrolls, or Vegemite, cheesy mite scrolls. It's $4.29. But if I was to walk into Baker's Delight, the 6 scrolls alone would cost me $23.40.
Wow.
And to buy a bread roll costs you 90 cents each. So that's another $5.40. So that's $28.80 to buy at Baker's Delight what I made for $5.07.
Wow, for 12 things. That's ridiculous.
Does that, that's
and I think
that's huge savings there. Just there alone. If you were to do that once a week,
that's exactly right. And
that's
then
a lot of money over a month, over a year, over paying your Thermomix off.
Then we've got Laura's LCM bars, and then we've got Fidesz's Bakeaway meals. So we've already paid the Thermomix off and have got money in our pocket. So
exactly. So I was excited to share that I sat there and worked that out. So I watched the actual the rest of the cooking class in replay. Sorry, girls. I got so excited I had to work it out.
Yeah. And I think comparing Baker's Delight, because a few of you will probably say, well, I wouldn't buy the Baker's Delight. I think you're comparing the quality, because we don't have those preservatives, and Baker's Delight is not the cheap end of the market. It is a nice scroll. So you're comparing apples with apples. You're not comparing, the real cheap and nasty bread that's $1, because that's packed with heaps of preservatives. So I think you've done the right thing there. And I'm blown away, because I haven't bought bread rolls and scrolls for 8 years, to think that it's gone up that much. When you said $24 or whatever you said, I thought, oh, what is that for a whole week? Like a few batches. I didn't realize you meant one batch, Kyra. So who's gobsmacked about that? For those of you that have a Thermomix for, whether it's a few months or a few years, you forget that how much people are paying for these sorts of things. Wow. Well, thanks so much, Kyra. That's actually really exciting. I'm going to jump over to Fidesz. Have you got them proofed before I flick over? Did you just want to show everyone what's happening there?
Yeah, so after
Sorry, Fidesz. We'll just Kyra can just show us her bread, and you're going to bake them tonight or bake them in the morning? Okay, Kyra's muted, but she's saying she's going to bake them tonight. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'll unmute you. I know I can't unmute you. You've got to unmute yourself, Kyra. Sorry.
I'll bake them tonight because we've got early starters in the morning. I'm not going to get up at 4 a.m. to cook for them.
Mm-hmm. And they've doubled in size for that 20 minutes or so we've been sitting here. So that they look fantastic. Good job. Thanks, Kyra.
You're welcome.
I'll get you up, Fidesz. There we go. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So what I did like 5 minutes before is I've just added in all the vegetables, and I've put red capsicum. It's about 200 grams as per the recipe, but you can actually add more. So that's another way for you to bulk up the dish, so you can get more. And what I've added, you can put any vegetables that you like, but what I've put in was red capsicum. I've added zucchini, broccoli, and snow peas. You can add eggplants. What else can you add for the curry? You can add mushrooms. Yeah, what else? The recipe says you can add bamboo shoots, but I didn't have those, so I skipped that one. So this one just finished cooking.
So if there's anything that's really you've got in your vegetable crisper that's in season, you don't go out and buy these specific things. You just grab what you've got. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, whatever you can. I think it will work well with the curry. So this one's just finished. What I like about cooking vegetables in the Thermomix is it doesn't really overcook. I'm not sure if you can see it. So yeah, so there you go. You can't really overcook. It doesn't overcook the veggies. So if you want them like crispy, crunchy still, yeah, most of the recipes I found it's like that. So this one, just put it in your thermoserver if you have them. This is my favorite, the white one. So I'll just pop it there to keep it warm. Yeah, and then that's basically it. You can add garnishing like Thai basil, or you can use just the regular sweet basil that you can find in the groceries. So I'm just gonna transfer that here and maybe just show you whatever is in here later.
Michelle,
Yeah, you're muted.
you're on mute.
Smells good.
Sorry, I'm just getting the links for the rose gold tray. So in the chat, I've posted all the recipes apart from the LCM bars and all the items that we've used in the mix shop. So Laura, did you just want to have a chat about something while I just get the links in, and then we'll just wrap it up if that's okay with you? We'll just
Totally fine. Let me
worries.
just find
Just
myself.
pop yourself on
Hi.
spotlight. Okay, thanks.
I know Michelle mentioned it earlier that we have a half price business kit available at the moment. I just wanted to expand on that to let you know, if for those of you who are maybe thinking, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do what they're doing, or, you know, or maybe you're thinking you could do it, but you need a confidence booster. When you join this business, all the training and mentoring is included free, and there are personal development opportunities all along the way. So the first step to finding out if you are interested is actually just having a chat with one of us, one of the team leaders, basically, so we can tell you what's involved. And then you can decide by making a really informed decision, so you can get all the ins and outs. So even if you aren't really sure, I think just like find out the info, because maybe it'll be for you. I was working in a corporate position when I became a Thermomix consultant. I was a mom of 2, and I wanted to earn a Thermomix because basically I just didn't want to pay for it. That was 13 years ago. Basically, it was a lot of money for a kitchen appliance back then. It's more normal now, but back then I was like, I don't want to pay for that, but I think I could earn it with my time instead of spending my money, I'll spend my time. And once I started, it just snowballed, and I was only meant to stay for 2 months, and that was a long time ago. And basically what I found was that I was enjoying it a lot, and I love the Thermomix, and I genuinely think everyone should see it. Whether they buy it or not is sort of irrelevant to me. I just want to show it to everyone, and I think everyone really should see what this could do for them. So that's why I love being a consultant. Fast forward now, I have 4 kids. I've quit my corporate job and I just do Thermomix because I love it. I love the flexibility of it, getting an income whilst being a stay-at-home mum. We are rewarded like crazy. We get free gifts sent to us every month. The boxes just keep showing up, and you know, trips away and just fun stuff. It's all fun. So I don't know, I just think you should look into it. If you love your Thermomix, or if you don't have one and you want to earn it, either way, I think you should just look into it and see what's involved, because the situation of each consultant is different. Some people do a few hours a week. Some people do it more, like a lot more like myself, because it's more my full-time income. And there's people all in between. So, and some people do it virtual, like what we're doing tonight. Some people do it in person. Some people do a hybrid. It's like really suits all situations. So don't be shy to reach out to one of us, because finding out the info is not locking you into anything. So yeah.
And Laura, before you finish up, where are the few of you going next month?
Yeah, so I said trips. I feel like we've been going all around the world with Thermomix, and next month we're going to Uluru. I'm so super excited because it's such a magical place, and it's not the cheapest place to go in Australia. It's quite, you know, a luxury holiday. And we're going 5 stars all the way, and all the fancy trimmings along the way, completely free. So, and that's something we have the opportunity to do every year, is an awesome trip away, except for in COVID times. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
No, we've blocked that out of our memory.
Yeah, we've blocked that out. We're going away now. Sorry, I probably talked more than you wanted me to there, but yeah.
No, you're passionate like all of us are that are on here. So thank you, Laura. I normally do have a little poll that I ask you some questions, but I actually forgot to do that today. So if you were interested in hosting a cooking experience to unlock some of those host rewards that we spoke about tonight, interested in purchasing a Thermomix, or getting some more information on joining the team, you can either pop it in the chat or reach out to your consultant, whoever invited you on tonight, and they would love to help you with whatever your next step is. The goal and the mission for this class is to help and support all the Thermomix owners to get the most out of their machine and save as much money as they can during these tough times. And for those of you that don't own a Thermomix, our mission is to have a Thermomix in the heart of every kitchen. So hopefully we've inspired you to learn a little bit more about what the Thermomix can do for you. Does anyone want to come off mute or ask any questions or type anything in the chat before we finish up? I will send you, Laura and I will send you the recording from tonight, and also the recipe links as well. I hope everybody enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I think you should is Fidesz going to show us the end of her?
Oh yes, sorry, Fidesz.
And also, yes, NDIS approved, as someone just mentioned in the chat. The Thermomix is now NDIS approved, so very exciting.
All right, so okay, so this is the thigh. It doesn't look very nice with my lighting, but I have tasted it and it's really, really good. I think if you're needing some inspiration or anything to cook with your Thermomix, this is definitely something that you should try. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I think it's even better than some of the ones that you can get from the shops. But yeah. So there you go. So that's my Thai green chicken curry.
Lovely. Is that your dinner for tonight or for tomorrow night, for Des?
Yes, my dinner for tonight and my lunch for tomorrow, and the kids' lunch for tomorrow too.
Love it. So she was working and cooking dinner at the same time. So multitasking. I love it for Des. Well, thanks so much, guys. If nobody has got any questions, we'll wind it up. We've got lots of thank yous there. So it's been our absolute pleasure to showcase the Thermomix to you and what it can do for you. So thanks, guys.